contact. And they don't understand what body language is, and they don't understand a lot of things. But one thing you have to be clear is if we're going to train them to be obedient and balanced, they have to be obedient and be balanced. So as you work the exercise, my body language does not change. When I'm coming backwards, he follows. I halt. And then I ask him to back up, because as soon as I touch the contact, he wants to lean on my hand. And then the more he leans, the more he wants to drop his haunches in and not come straight. So he has to figure out how to come straight and not lean on me. So I offer subtle suggestions here and there, like here, back up. Whip in the front means back up. And if he has to throw his head around, I let him throw his head around. But eventually I'm not going to let him look out so much when he's throwing his head around, because that's part of the problem. There, now the hips are moving a little better. Good boy. And then we go back again. So here now I ask him to straighten out a little bit, and he overcorrects. So that's when I take my hand off the contact, because we want the horse to walk back and forth on his own. See, and there I can start to see the left hip is starting to release. So he doesn't know what to do with it, so then he starts throwing his body around, which we want him to release his hips, but still keep the shoulders coming in front of the hind legs through releasing the rib cage. So part of the problem is he doesn't know how to let go in his rib cage, because he's used his body against the contact, and he is a horse, and they all push into pressure, so that's nothing new. That's what they do. So when we domesticate them and teach them, we have to go kind of above in a way and think about what their natural reactions and ways of being are, and then we have to help them understand that pushing into pressure is not a solution. So we cannot push into pressure or push back, because if we push back, excellent, with contact, the horse will then push on you. Any opportunity you give the horse to lean on you, they will. Good boy. And then with him, it's all or nothing. He's either pushing on you or he's not letting you touch him. So obviously you have to educate him, like what the touch means. Touch should be soft. It should be inviting. It should not be avoided. And it should not be pushed on. And it should be very gentle and not a lot of pressure in the beginning. And the other thing is I'm not going to go out of my way to touch him. Because if I go to touch him and he moves away from me, then you're teaching him that that's the response that you want. And we also don't want him leaning in or looking past me. So here he's trying to look past me. And then I'll pet him again. Good boy. And just wait. Good job. Try not to move my whip too much, because I'm working on, see, and then I go to fix the cavison and he wants to pull away from me. So I am not going to reach for the cavison more when the horse is going away from me, because if he does, I'm teaching him that that's the response that I want. So now I'll fix the cavison. Good job. And then I'll ask him to come forward again. So I stand, I bring my left shoulder back, and I bring the whip up to the horse. I'm not holding him, and then I halt, left shoulder. Good. He's leaning on me, so I'm going to take my whip out in front, and then I'm going to ask him to back up and not lean on me with his shoulders. Then we go, first we go leaning out, now we're leaning in. Good. And then halt. Good boy. Fix, pet. Ever so softly. And let him be in his own space and figure it out. Good boy. And then don't let him go past me. And then fix the cavesson. And there he wants to lean. See? Anytime, there he's leaning. Because he doesn't want to stand on the outside hind leg. So he doesn't settle in his hips at all. So we need to help him settle in his hips. Good boy. And then we